Welcome into Patterson Ice Arena. We're over on the West Rink today as East Grand Rapids plays its fourth game of the 2024-25 season, trying to stay unbeaten as they face off against their rink rivals, the Forest Hills Northern and Eastern Bird Dogs, on this Thanksgiving Eve. Welcome into the broadcast, everybody. I'm Matt Gajtka. Let me turn the camera down a little bit. Good evening and an early happy holiday season to you as we get it rolling here on a Wednesday night for the first time this season. East Grand Rapids standing at 3-0 after three impressive victories to start their season, all here at Patterson. This will be the fourth and final game of the homestand, if you will, even though technically your Pioneers are the road team today, playing over on the ice sheet that they usually call home, but that they also share with Forest Hills and the Bird Dogs. Forest Hills Northern and Eastern at 1-3-0 in the early season stretch. They picked up an overtime win against Birmingham United just this past weekend down in the Detroit area, but EGR has taken care of business here at home. So they're a formidable opponent for sure for anybody in all of Michigan high school hockey. And we found that out last weekend, last Friday night, as they downed Salem, a ranked team in the top 10 in Division I, by a score of 5-3. It was a real thriller here. Hope you got a chance to at least check out the highlights on our East Hockey live stream channel on YouTube. That's where we'll be streaming, well, I don't want to say all of them, but almost all of the games here at Patterson this year and some select road games as well. In that win against Salem, EGR trailed three separate times, 1-0, 2-1, and 3-2, but they rallied from behind each of those times, scoring 3 goals in the third period. Brady Ross got the game winner about midway through the third, and then James Albers added on his 7th goal of the season to go with 4 assists into an empty net to polish that one off. But there were a lot of heroes last Friday night against Salem. It was the lone game of the weekend for EGR. For one, Oliver Owen scored the first 2 goals of the game for East Grand Rapids. Owen has scored in each of the first 3, and in his career he's got 27 goals. That's tops among active Pioneers, just one ahead of his line mate, James Albers. So Owen's got 4 goals on the season, 8 total points. Albers has 7 goals, as I said, 11 points to his credit. And the third member of that line, Brady Ross, 3 goals and a team best 5 assists. Also, the freshman goalie Charles Finch continues to stand out. He's got a .918 save percentage through his first 3 varsity starts. We expect him to once again get the start tonight, a 1.68 goals against average as well. However, it's going to be tougher over the next several weeks for EGR because they're going to be missing 2 of their veteran D-men. The senior Owen Stropke out for a few weeks with an upper body injury he suffered against Salem. Stropke, the team's time on ice leader from last season and early on this season. He has 20 career assists, 4 of those already this year, but he provides so much more than tangible offense. He's also the backbone of that EGR blue line. So they'll be missing number 5, certainly, for the next few games at least. Also, Ethan Brinker, the junior, will miss a few. So on defense, we're going to see a lot more of Caden Goosens, the junior, also sophomores Cooper Rowan and J.D. Menny, and the freshman defenseman Whitaker Hill, thrown into the fire last Friday. He was out there on a late critical penalty kill and an extra attacker situation for Salem, and Hill helped hold the fort as the Pioneers got the victory. Players to watch for Forest Hills Northern and Eastern, certainly number 11, Sean Hall. He's got 6 goals on the year, including a hat trick against Birmingham Unified, the 5-4 overtime win for the Bird Dogs last weekend. He also scored twice here in the opener a couple of weeks ago against Lake Orion. The Bird Dogs are missing J.P. McGinnis, who graduated. He had 21 goals and 40 total points last year, but other guys they can look to, senior defenseman Logan Spikerman, 2 goals already on the year and 5 total points, and sophomore D-man Liam Tilley, 6 helpers on the season. Their starting goaltender's been injured. That's Owen Howe. He played in 23 games last year for the Bird Dogs. So Mason DeYoung and Matthew Moses have split the duties. We'll see in just a moment who's going to get the start for them as warm-ups continue here on the West Rink at Patterson. I'll take a short break and bring it on back for the national anthem and the drop of the puck. Should be an energetic atmosphere, to say the least, on this very festive Thanksgiving Eve. Thank you for joining us on the East Hockey live stream channel. Hey. Set for the national anthem after the starting lineups. I'll get those to you in just a moment if you couldn't figure it out already. Couldn't hear the PA man, but we're ready to go for the Star Spangled Banner. So keep it right here on the East Hockey live stream channel on YouTube. This place is rocking. Where else would you rather be right now? And if you're not here, thank you for watching live on YouTube. I'm Matt Gajtka, and we continue on 3 out of 4 games on the YouTube stream so far this year. That's not too bad. East Grand Rapids with a record of 3-0, number 3 ranked in Division 3 per Michigan Hockey Hub. They're coached by 7th-year bench boss Chris Newton with a record of 96, 59-5 during his time at East. For Forest Hills Northern and Eastern, the Bird Dogs are 1-3. Their head coach in his 12th season is Tom Bissett, and he has boasted 8 region championships, including last season, and 5 trips to the Michigan High School Final Four. Last year's Bird Dogs team went 12-12-3, but they peaked late, kind of like the EGR squad of 2 years ago that really got it going, and then eventually, of course, went all the way to the state championship game. East in their traveling blues, even though playing here at home at Patterson. The faceoff will feature the senior Bennett Winkle against the freshman Michael Dodge, and Dodge of Forest Hills Northern and Eastern wins the draw. Again, Northern and Eastern, the longtime co-op team here, we'll call them the Bird Dogs for brevity's sake, as Oliver Walkus will lift it back to the East Grand Rapids line, taken there by Cooper Rowan, handed off to his defense partner Caden Goosens, and he banks it on ahead. Off the stick of Liam Tilley, back behind the Bird Dogs goal. Starting netminder for Forest Hills is Mason DeYoung with a record of 1-1 so far this season and an .819 save percentage. The Bird Dogs have given up quite a few early on this year. 21 goals allowed in 4 games. Here's a wrist shot, and the first save of the game is courtesy of Charlie Finch, the freshman netminder for East, as he stops Ryan Warden, the forward, on a long-distance shot. Warden, Gino, and also Michael Dodge were the starting forward line for the Bird Dogs. On defense was the captain, Ollie Wakas, and the high-scoring Liam Tilley. For East, they started the forward line of Bryce Bjornsson with Nolan Brooks and Bennett Winkle. Spikerman shoots off the face-off win, gobbled up by Finch, and it's lost in his equipment somewhere. Now he's found it. Spikerman, a player we've seen over the years for the Bird Dogs. He can get it done from the back end, a player you have to try to defend hard against. You have to be aware of where he is. Here's Brooks. That's Porter Brooks, the freshman D, moving it behind the goal. We're going to see a lot of Porter Brooks tonight. We're going to see a lot of Cooper Rowan, a lot of Whitaker Hill, in the absence of the 2 upperclassmen D who are out due to injury for multiple weeks. Owen Stropke and Ethan Brinker on the shelf for a while. So we'll see how the Nears handle the workload needing to be spread around more. Guys are going to be getting their introduction without much of a safety net. Oliver Owen scooting through center. Owen, 4 goals on the year, played it ahead. Now he'll keep it at the blue line. Fed it over to Brady Ross. This line has been unbelievable so far, with 27 points between them, averaging 9 points per forward, essentially. 11 of those for James Albers. Had another big night against Salem. Clip pass, Goosens at center, but he recovers well. Goosens to Albers, 2-on-2 rush. Ross in over the line on his off-wing side. Took the wrist shot, blocked out high by Spikerman as it bounces to the corner and cleared around and out by Nolan Gino, who's got no points on the year, but 8 penalties for him. He's been in the mix physically. Number 6 in white and black. Certainly a player to keep your eye on as well. As Trevor Bird will ladle this one around behind the net. Bird, the freshman forward. We're going to get a look at East depth over the next few weeks. They've got the showcase coming up next weekend here. Houghton and Bay Reps on the schedule. 2 really tough opponents. Dumped in from the neutral zone by Porter Brooks. Back behind the goal, Spikerman rings it around and just barely out off the stick of Brooks. He'll knock it back to Hill, no problem. But Hill's pass too far for Jake Goosens, the junior forward, to latch on to. So East got to go to work on the forecheck. A backhand by Rowan from the point, ends up in the left circle. Spikerman guides it around. It'll be taken by Walkus, the towering defenseman, the guy who wears the C for the Bird Dogs. Up the near wing, angled through, and back out to the neutral zone. Still no shots on goal for East, a couple of them for the so-called home team tonight. Both teams playing in a familiar environment at Patterson, and both teams with a healthy cheering section. Lobbed in on Finch. He makes the somewhat awkward save on Spikerman's. Just a soft shot in from center, and now chipped up the far side boards. Here comes Nolan Brooks, makes a little move. Got a man open, Bjornsson! Save made! On the point-blank chance by DeYoung. Now to the point. Goosens shooting through traffic. That was off a skate. To the point one more time, and tossed through to the middle. Rowan had that go off of a Bird Dog, and bouncing over to the far wing. Rowan, can he keep it? Goosens will not be able to. It just popped out over the blue line, even though it was shot back in, and the play blown dead on the delayed offside with 13:48 to go in the first. Catch your breath. Good quick start to this one. A lot of 5-on-5 action. Back and forth we go. 2 shots for the Pioneers now after Bjornsson had the unbelievable opportunity set up by Nolan Brooks. Bjornsson's already got a goal this year. It's his first varsity season. Or excuse me, second varsity season for him. Had 2 goals all of last year. Through the middle and scooped up by the smooth skating Bennett Winkle. He headmans over to Brooks, trying to get around the edge. Couldn't beat Tilley to the outside. And it's up for grabs and taken on by the Bird Dogs. And rambling on back, Justin Halverson. Sent a saucer pass toward the middle. And Goosens knocked it away, but right back to a Bird Dog out high. That is Slater, and he took the shot that was rejected by Winkle, and that one hurt. Winkle up to his skates slowly, and he's going to head off to the bench and get it changed and see what the damage is. As Brooks shoots in from just ahead of the red line, 13:05 to go in the first period. No penalties yet, no goals on the board. This rivalry matchup at Patterson Ice Center. Out by the blue line, Albers threw it blindly toward the middle, and that bounces off the skate of Will Slater, the defenseman. Dumped all the way back down. The puck jumps up on edge, and that'll be an icing against Forest Hills. It's the one and only scheduled meeting between these two teams. The way that the OK Conference is set up this year, we're down to 2 divisions. You'll play each team in your division once, and then you might see them again in this new postseason tournament format that we have. It'll occur in early February, and more details on that as we get closer, but that's what you need to know right now. We'll see Forest Hills once. We'll see, Forest Hills Central once as well. So there'll be a change from normal when it used to be a double round robin in the regular season. Turned over on the far wall. Spikerman with his head up for the Bird Dogs. 1-on-4. Makes a little move to the inside, but couldn't get by the stick check of Whitaker Hill, who takes his pound of flesh as well. Porter Brooks behind the goal. Turned it back to his partner Hill from the corner on his strong side. Good little outlet pass to hook up to Brady Ross. Ross working his way to the outside. Couldn't turn on the Jets, though. Wakas picked it up and fired it right into his own bench. Look out over there. Some of the assistants had to duck out of the way. With 12:15 to go in the first. East will travel to the Southside Ice Arena for a showdown with the defending state champion Byron Center Bulldogs. That's on Saturday to round out the week. I will not be able to have coverage of that matchup for you, as I'll be down in Detroit. The football team I broadcast for on Michigan Sports Radio, the Zeeland West Ducks, are going for another state championship that afternoon. So you're on your own for that one. But fortunately, not a long drive down to the south side. Just got to worry about a little bit of snow, I think, this weekend. So it'll be Caden Goosens taking over, clipping it on the far side. There's his brother Jake, gave it away. Pull-up move by Hill, and he's stripped from behind. Good work from Trevor Bird, and the near's clear. Near the red line, Graham Verker sends it up ahead. Weird bounce off the end boards as the netminder Finch tried to stop it, and cleared toward the front of the east net. That's where it's off a skate. Over to Goosens. He fires it across. Rowan looks up, and his pass ended up behind Runyon, and all the way down it goes for our first icing of the game against East. East Grand Rapids outscoring opponents 19-5 in the early going. That's the second best differential in the OK Conference. The only team better is the surprising Caledonia Scots. They've put in 24 goals in their first 4 games, all wins, and they've allowed just 6. We'll see them later this year. Lobbed on ahead, nearly a 2-on-1, but the Bird Dogs defended it well near their own line. Dodge, the freshman, dumps in. His fellow 9th grader played it behind the goal. That was Finch, and now Dodge is on it again on the miscommunication behind the East Grand Rapids net. He poked it behind the goal. Nolan Gino swirls it out to the point. Spikerman changes the angle and fires a high riser that got the glass. Bjornsson tries to one-hand it out, couldn't do it, and it's taken over by Bennett Winkle. Winkle using the net as a shield effectively. Brooks chips it up off the wall, and out it goes. Bjornsson pulling up and lost command of the puck. Slater angles it around. Winkle, can he keep it in? No, he can't, and a quick whistle, even though the Pioneers were trying to tag up. That'll halt play. 10:37 left in the first period. It's already the furthest into an East game we've gone this year with no score on the board. Chris Newton's team has played some entertaining games. They led the whole way against Lake Orion in a blowout win. Same deal against Riverview Gabriel Richard in the opener. Then they had to come back 3 separate times against Salem as this puck is skied out of play. We see the East student section down to our right behind the goal. And likewise on the other side for Forest Hills Northern and Eastern. They've got 2 schools to draw from. As Owen taps it up ahead, looking for Albers. Didn't connect. And the Pioneers have to go fish, but Halverson's on it. He'll dish it back to the line. Tilly a shot Didn't get through, blocked in front. And the Pioneers might have numbers. Goosens sends it on ahead. Albers, pull-up move, left it behind, but here's Ross following on and shooting, and a save by DeYoung off the blocker hand. To the corner, Albers again. Tried to play the give-and-go game with Owen, but that was intercepted and thrown up off the glass by Halverson, bouncing out through to center and backhanded the rest of the way by Hill. He'll go for a change as Goosens goes for the quick up. Ross following onto this puck. Owen looking to chase and wedge Spikerman off the biscuit. Couldn't get there in time. Instead, it'll be Ryan Warden off the boards. The puck loose, and Spikerman swoops in again. He'll turn and twist and forehand it over to the near side, and Warden clears. Hill on the puck for East. Barnes gets his first touch. Alex Barnes up the far wing as the Pioneers try the right side. Not going to work that time either. Fan clearance by Dodge initially, but he'll recontrol and give it on to Walkus. He'll dump in and go in after it. The big D-man trying to create something. Instead, it's Jake Goosens for East Grand Rapids. On ahead to Barnes right in front of us. He's knocked off the puck by Verker. Verker clears. We go back and forth. It'll be Hill having to reach back for this on a pass out of his grasp from Porter Brooks. Hill takes a look. He's got plenty of time. Hooks up with Jake Goosens. And again, up to the red line and dumped in, this time by Barnes. Just about halfway through the first period. 8:43 to go in it. Nothing on the score sheet. 3 shots apiece. Nothing but 5-on-5 play so far. For the Pioneers, they might like to get the special teams going. They scored 3 times on the power play on 8 opportunities against Salem last time out. Winkle, the pull-up, and now driving it in deep. Winkle holding on to it against 3 Bird Dogs back there, looking for some support, looking for a man to give it to. Bjornsson was open briefly, but the play bogs down behind the net. Bryce Bjornsson, he had the best chance in this game for either side, but was stopped by DeYoung. Goosens clicks it across. Here's Rowan's shot. Didn't get through again. A lot of traffic in front of both nets in the early going. Teams defending hard. Spikerman's backhand through the middle. Pardon me, that was Halverson, excuse me. And now it's taken on by Owen Lepp. And he'll rifle in and go off to the bench. Rowan controls, getting those feet moving. Stick handling with his head up. Good pass to find Albers. Blows right by Tilly on the outside. Good move to the inside, and he draws a penalty. A penalty against the co-captain Logan Spikerman. James Albers gets the East Grand Rapids Pioneers into their first power play situation of the night. Spikerman to the box for tripping with 7:35 to go in the first period. You could just tell that Albers had caught the Bird Dogs flat-footed, and if he could just keep the accelerator down, he'll either get a scoring chance or what just happened will happen. The penalty will be committed. So he's coming off a 3 power play goal game. They'll settle it in here. Owen to Ross, back to Oliver Owen. He's got a great shot, so does Albers on the far side. Ross gives it to Albers. Sharp angle, so he'll dump it around. All the way to the near side. Owen under pressure. Good pass to find Ross at the point. Down low to Winkle. Leading assist man last year for the Pioneers with 20. Albers lets it go. Save made by DeYoung. Off his pad over to the corner and Winkle. Winkle, great cut on his skates, but he's poke checked there by Warden. Still the battle continues. Winkle wins it back. Over to Oliver Owen, who mans the left point again. Across to Albers. Both Albers and Owen on their strong sides on this power play on the flanks. Owen open firing. He scores! Just like that, it's 1-0 East Grand Rapids on a bullet shot past DeYoung. Hold me now. Near's on top on another PPG. 6:47 to go in the first. Owens, 5th of the year. 28th of his career, and you could just tell that DeYoung was a little slow pushing over, and if Owen could nail the shot, it was going to go into the net. And as Oliver Owen often does, he did nail the shot. I believe we're going to see Albers with one of the assists. Not sure on the other. We'll await the PA announcement. Or we'll await the box score in a couple of days in a lot of cases. Owen in after it here. Got Bird and Ross, on the assist, at least the initial call. That sometimes changes. Big hit, biggest hit of the game. Owen put down on his wallet by Ike DeHaan, senior forward. And that gets the crowd riled up, and it also gets the referee to put his arm up. What's the penalty? Didn't see it. 6:19 to go, another stoppage, and the penalty box door will open, and James Albers is headed off. So the near is going short for the next 2 minutes. And we await the call. The referee, well, I didn't see any signal from him, but 2 minutes are on the board to Albers. First power play for Forest Hills Northern and Eastern. The Bird Dogs on the season 4 for 23 on the advantage. That's 17%. And for East, they're perfect so far. They have not allowed a power play goal in 3 games, and it's a 5-minute major. Hello, against Albers. So that PK unit, that perfection, will be tested quite intensely over the next 5 minutes. Oliver Owen scores on the power play, but now East down a man for the next 5. Spikerman wristing after the faceoff win. Brooks got the block out high. That's a good start. Checking from behind is the call. I was waiting for that. Winkle tried to create a shorthanded chance at center. Couldn't quite do it. So checking from behind, one of those penalties that is eligible to be a major if the hit is violent enough. And in this case, the referees adjudged that it was. Brooks picks it off at center ice and he dumps it on down. We're a half minute into the 5-minute major against Albers. A 1-0 East Grand Rapids lead in this rivalry matchup on a Thanksgiving Eve. I'm Matt Gajtka. Thank you for joining us on the broadcast. As Winkle pokes it ahead, nearly took it away from Tilley, and now Ross follows on. Ross driving in. Good pass. Shot by Winkle. Missed. Oh, and a big rebound, and it jumped right over the stick of Ross. Better bounce, and Ross has an empty net because DeYoung was all the way over on the right post. And Ross was there on the left side, uncovered. But the Pioneers putting the pressure on here. This is encouraging work from the PK unit. Rowan fires it ahead. 3:44 to go in the major. 5 minutes left exactly in the first period. Pushed ahead off of a Bird Dog stick, so no icing here, but Rowan's back to it, and Rowan puts some air under it all the way back beyond the red line where it's gloved down by Ollie Walkus. He powers it ahead on the dump in. Finch stopped it back there. Finch made a couple of early saves. Since then, not a lot to worry about, but that's probably going to change here shortly. Stuff try. Saved by Finch. It's under him. No, it came loose, but the whistle sounded. Ike DeHaan with a brilliant look off a bounce at the side of the net, and Finch says, oh, no, you don't. Still 1-0 Pioneers. 3:09 to go on the power play. DeHaan's got a long reach. Pretty good size on this Bird Dog squad. Hall also well over 6 feet tall. I mentioned Walkus. He's got to be close to 6'5". And the faceoff controlled by Halverson, beating Bjornsson at the dot. All the way out by the blue line, Nolan Gino. 3 forwards high right now for Forest Hills. Now they set up into more of a conventional look on the power play. Walkus fanned on the attempted shot. Gino takes over. Pass across and another whiff. This time from Halverson on the one-time attempt in the faceoff circle, but Halverson recovers it. Working against Brooks. Dropped it on Warden playing the point. Scoots it across on his backhand. Walkus passing to the open wing. Nobody there. A collision in front as Brooks couldn't clear. Poked toward the middle by Hall. Bjornsson got a stick in his skates. No penalty call, but he does clear it strongly out to center. And an offside re-entry by the Bird Dogs. Hall didn't clear the zone. That stops play with 2:25 left on the power play. 3:44 to go in the period. A major power play for the Bird Dogs with James Albers in the box for checking from behind. That came right after Oliver Owen's power play goal. Gave the Nears the early edge. Winkle trying to dipsy-do, move, left it there, and a score! Brady Ross upstairs under the bar. A bullet shot, shorthanded goal. 2-0 East. Created from the clear blue sky, Ross rips it for his 4th of the season. And East has had as many good chances on this power play as Forest Hills Northern Eastern has. And that time, Ross absolutely deadly. Bar down, hands up. 2-0. And Winkle, let's not forget about Bennett Winkle's work to pull that puck loose. It's his 4th assist of the year, his 28th career helper for Winkle. Spikerman, though, settles in, trying to strike back. He'll shoot right through a crowd, and off of a skate and wide of the net. Halverson pulls it back. Nifty little play off to Tilley, wristing it. Pad saved by Finch. Hall controls for the Bird Dogs. 1:46 to go on the major power play. Hall from the sidewall creates an angle, lets it rip, and it's high and wide off the corner. Gino for Forest Hills. His pass bounced over Tilley's stick. On with it. Back comes Ross, trying to use that speed again, but this time he's thwarted. But Ross stays with it. Puck ends up behind him, and the pass sent ahead by Gino. Halverson pulls the trigger, and he missed. He had some room there perhaps, but shot it about a couple of inches too high to put it under the bar. This is a game of inches at times. The cliche is true as Owen looks to clear ahead, and it's off the stick of a Forest Hills player, perhaps Baum, and up into the protective netting. 1:05 left on the power play, 2:24 to go in the period. East has a power play goal and a shorthanded goal, and the Nears lead it, trying to improve to 4-0 on the season. I like our vantage point here on the west rink, a little better than the east rink, but the only issue is we do have the protective netting, so it's not the clearest view, but take what you can get. Rowan shoots in. DeYoung parries it away with his goal stick behind his glove. I mentioned the presumed starting goalie, Owen Howe, out due to injury for Forest Hills, so his fellow senior Mason DeYoung gets his 3rd start here today. DeHaan trying to run the gauntlet, gets to the corner, tossed it right to the front. Might have ticked off of Finch. And a drive by Walkus, that was blocked. Warden with 30 seconds left on the power play. Bjornsson pressuring Walkus out high. To the corner it goes. And the freshman Dodge turned it over in the middle, and a backhand clearance by Porter Brooks. That might have just taken care of the rest of the power play. Down to 10 seconds to go before Albers will escape from the box. While he was in the box, his fellow line mate at even strength usually, Brady Ross, made it 2-0 with a shorthanded goal. And a lot of times on these major penalties, if the power play doesn't get it going, it can start to work against the team on the advantage because they start to get discouraged and the momentum builds for the team down a man. Albers out of the box, kicks it to his stick. He sends it towards the middle. That's off of Brooks. Ross let it go. A little miscommunication with Whitaker Hill, and so Hill had to take it back in his possession in the neutral zone. The Pioneers working around to the far side systematically. Caden Goosens from the red line. Rifles it wide of the goal. 50 seconds to go in the period. East with a spectacular start to this one. The special teams strike, and the PK remains perfect on the year. Perfect and then some. They're a plus on the year. The shorty from Ross. Plus, not allowing a single PPG against yet. Runyon handed it off. Ross, distance shot, and held on to, not wanting to make an error playing it was DeYoung, so he'll get the whistle with 24 seconds remaining before the intermission. This is our one and only broadcast of the week. Hope you're enjoying so far on the East Hockey live stream. My name is Matt Gajtka. Appreciate you joining us. One of the best nights of the year, Thanksgiving Eve. For hockey and maybe other reasons, as it'll be Bird slammed against the far side boards. Runyon got in on the forward check, but he couldn't get the puck away. And back with it, Hill, shooting high and wide of the glove side of Finch. It caroms off the corner boards. Lively bounce all the way back into Bird Dogs real estate, and the high flip. Gino swats a glove at it. It'll be over his head, and that's that for the opening 17 minutes. Power play goal for Oliver Owen. Shorthanded goal for Brittany Ross. Pioneers ahead by 2 at the break. Keep it right here from Patterson Ice Center for more action on this Wednesday night.
Have a good year.
Yeah. Look like that top line's going to be deadly this year. Yeah, I know. To beat that, you got 2 guys in Owen and Alvarez who can just rip it off the wings. Winkle's a great seventh man. Ross gives you great speed and skill. So yeah, like you said, Strachey or whoever else they go out there. Strachey's rough. So how you doing? So far, so good for East Grand Rapids, up 2-0 on Forest Hills Northern and Eastern, the longtime co-op team that also plays here out of the Patterson Ice Center. I'm Matt Gajtka, and back for more for the middle frame, where EGR will defend the goal down to our left. East in its traveling blue jerseys with the East script written across the chest, the gold helmets, gold and white trim. The Bird Dogs, as they're known, get it because it's Hawks mixed with Huskies. I like the name. It's worked out, but they're dressed in white with black trim. These two teams met twice last year. I told you they might meet twice this year. Might just be one time, depending on what the postseason formula spits out at the end of the year. But last year they split the two games. East won in the opener, the season opener, almost exactly a year ago, 7-2. Oliver Owen scored twice in that game. Bennett Winkle had a goal and an assist. Sean Hall for Forest Hills scored twice, the only 2 goals for the Bird Dogs that night. But then Forest Hills got their revenge with a 2-1 win in January. Brady LeBeau, who I've not seen on the ice yet tonight, keep an eye out for him, number 3. He scored one of the 2 goals for the Bird Dogs in the return engagement. And Ryan Warden had an assist. So that's what you need to know. Here's Cooper Rowan handling for East, clearing it around. He took a hard hit behind the goal, thrown out in front of the net, and unable to get his stick down. Michael Dodge, he could have guided that one home. It was a great pass out of the corner. Didn't catch who it was. I think it might have been Nolan Gino who flung it toward the net mouth. Good look and a good, strong start for the Bird Dogs. You'd imagine that, down 2-0 in a home game for them. Winkle shovels it on his back end. Pardon me, that's Winkle. He took it from Goosens. He's good, but he can't pass it to himself quite yet. Winkle and the regroup. East will emerge out the near wing side. Bjornsson couldn't take the pass cleanly in the neutral zone on his backhand, so Wakas heads back due north with it. Wakas looking, firing. Finch with a juggle and a save, and nothing further from that. Charlie Finch, freshman goalie, 3-0 on the season, 1.68 goals against average, a .918 save percentage coming in. That's his 6th save of the night. He also has an assist. Registered that against Lake Orion, game number 2, a 7-1 win. East started the season with back-to-back 7-1 wins, and they beat Salem 5-3 last Friday. Picked off in the middle by Brooks, and Brooks sends it ahead. Good pass to Ross on the area play. Ross, couple of cutbacks to his forehand, poked off his stick by Hall. That's a long stick for Sean Hall. Tough to get by him. Albers in the corner. Albers spent much of the first period in the penalty box due to the 5-minute checking from behind penalty issued to him, but much to his delight, his teammates scored the only goal that went in when he was in the box for that long. Long lead pass that goes off the skate of Hall, so no icing against East. Halverson jams it high around the glass and back down in front of the Bird Dogs bench, where it's taken by Bird on the pass from Whitaker Hill, the freshman D. Halverson, nifty skater. Halverson shooting, and he put it over the net. 14:50 to go in the second period. No goals, no penalties yet in this frame. Spikerman twisting and turning, and a pass looking for DeHaan up ahead. Brooks, that's Porter Brooks, got his skates taken out from under him, but play continues on. 1 penalty apiece. East scored on their only power play so far, so they're now 4 for their last 9 on the advantage. Spikerman, look at that move to his forehand with Runyon right there in his face, but his pass was deflected across to his defense partner, Wakas. Wakas pinned in by Jake Goosens. Good hard work from number 4 in blue, throwing his body around, but the Bird Dogs do clear. Gino had it explode off his stick, so the Bird Dogs got to go back after it again in front of their own net. Pulling up Dodge. Dodge takes a hard hit from Bjornsson, clean at center ice, knocks him flying. Gino poke checked at the line. But Caden Goosens couldn't backhand it by Gino. He's in after it into the corner. He's knocked down to the ice on one knee, trying to poke it away from Nolan Brooks. Brooks trying to get it out. He'll poke it through to center. He's got Bjornsson ahead. Looked to feed him, and Bjornsson had it for a moment, but then poke check neatly by Graham Verker. Up the near wing comes Gino, shooting a low one, and a pad save by Finch, and he covers for the stoppage in play. 3.5 minutes into the second period. Jake Tiedemann not on the film tonight. We're filling in for him. Other staffers present tonight: head coach Chris Newton, of course, Grant Newton, Tim Casey, Drew O'Brien, Peter Stewart, Kyle Wallet, and Lucas Schutt also help out. The athletic trainer is Courtney Vandeweghe, and she was busy last game, unfortunately, treating both Owen Stropke and Ethan Brinker. Well, more on that in a second as Winkle comes parading in and lets it rip, but it's blocked by Tilley, point blank. Bjornsson. And now Goosens, and Bjornsson again from the wall. Switches play over for Rowan, but he fanned on the shot. Bjornsson shoots, and he scored! Banged it in off the body of DeYoung, did Bryce Bjornsson, his second goal of the year, and the junior celebrates with the student section behind the goal. It's 3-0, 13:05 to go in the second. Bryce Bjornsson, double B, shoots to thrill, and the Pioneers have a power play goal, a shorthanded goal, and an even strength goal. They're filling out the bingo card so far tonight. All that's left is a penalty shot and an empty netter, and they'll have all the game states, if you will. Hill sends it ahead. Cooper Rowan and Nolan Brooks on the assist. At least that's the initial call. And it's funny, Rowan fanned on the shot, and then Bjornsson follows on. And I just think DeYoung never quite got reset on his angle. Wasn't ready for that, obviously. Poked away at the line. Nolan Gino surging back, trying to make it a breakaway. He fires. Good save by Finch with 12:33 to go in the second. Remember that save to keep it 3-0. Finch coming out. You could hear the thud off the pad all the way up here on press row. Cleared across, but not out by East. Stepping up Dodge. Cradling and losing control. Owen hands off Albers in a dangerous spot between the circles. Owen sends it the rest of the way out to the red line. Walkus couldn't pin it on the dump in by Albers. He heads off for a change. Ross, the tip of the spear on the forward check. But now he'll take off for the bench. Look out, careless play there by the Bird Dogs. Owen takes it right back. Bird couldn't take the pass on the first try. Now he centers it out in front. Good chance there, and Barnes was denied by DeYoung. The Pioneers looking for a fourth to the blue line, and Rowan across Caden Goosens. His shot off the stick, though, of Charlie Vance. Back to Bird out by the blue line. His shoot in off a stick. Bird crunched behind the goal by Dodge. Dodge and Bird joust again in the corner. Good fight there for the loose puck. And clip forward, and out it goes. Dodge took care of it the rest of the way. Just past 8 o'clock on this Thanksgiving Eve. The Pioneers lead 3-0. They've added on Bryce Bjornsson, even strength goal in this second period. Bird lowers his shoulder. A backhand clicks off a stick to the near corner. The students look on as Baum takes over for Forest Hills. But Tyler Baum's backhand headed off at the pass by Goosens. He'll spin it around to the far side. Off the kick plate, Bird. Losing control. Baum takes a hit from Alex Barnes, who's energized on this shift, and a whistle and an offside at the Forest Hills blue line. 10:43 left in the second. I'm Matt Gajtka. This is the East Hockey live stream. Make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube. I feel like a real YouTuber when I say that, by the way, just so you know. But our first year for this effort, thanks to the assistant coach and social media extraordinaire Grant Newton for helping to get all this set up and squared away. He got me jacked up with the hype video on Instagram and Facebook today. This is icing against Forest Hills Northern and Eastern. Did not expect to hear Creed as the backing track for the highlight reel, getting us ready for tonight's rivalry game. One last breath, as I commented to him It's the first album I ever bought with my own money back in the very early 2000s. It gives you roughly my age. That was high school. For me, Winkle turns it off the post. I think it got a piece of the post. I had a perfect angle to watch that shot come in, and the high flip goes over the short glass, out of play. And now DeHaan having a spirited discussion with Whitaker Hill, the defenseman. Ike DeHaan. It's got Hill by a couple of inches. But Hill not backing down from the senior. 3 years older than him, roughly. Change of lines. Winkle's unit goes out over the boards, and Winkle is booted from the face-off circle. So Bjornsson, the most recent goal scorer, will take this draw against Michael Dodge. And the Bird Dogs win it there. But on it first, Brooks. Stuff try off the pad of DeYoung. It bounces free to the near circle. Winkle on it again, out high by the blue line. Little swing move on the deke around the outside. Bennett Winkle elusively makes a great pass over near side to Brooks. He'll shoot. And with his brother Nolan in front, Porter Brooks nearly put that one in for his first varsity goal. Side of the net, Bjornsson and Slater lock horns. To the near side, Nolan Brooks forced it out. Porter Brooks, number 22 in blue, sends it far corner. Back below the goal line. East not afraid to get their noses dirty. Put their working boots on. Back to Winkle. Off the wall, Bjornsson shooting, and it's off of the back of Slater. That one stung, I think, and he's hunched over trying to get back into the play. Turning play by Brooks. Good save by DeYoung, his best of the game, to get that left toe out, to kick it away to the corner. But the pressure continues for East in the attacking zone, and they're with it again. Brooks centering and behind Bjornsson. He was open in the slot. Gino's poke check by Porter Brooks at center. Back with it comes Bryce Bjornsson. Bjornsson with Albers fresh off the bench, joining the fray. Bjornsson's back there, and he's bodied up again by Slater. Long physical shift for Slater. Albers, Bjornsson, tight quarters, couldn't turn it to the backhand side. It drifts to the far boards. Owen colliding with Ryan Warden. Warden's jersey nearly came off. Behind the goal, Albers, quick stop, and a centering pass. DeYoung gets his glove on top of it in the blue paint. Owen was there, so was Ross, looking for a rebound. Wasn't available, but the top line for EGR nearly poaching another one. 8:34 left in the second, so almost exactly halfway through regulation time. Great action for East. Even if you don't score, you're keeping the puck 200 feet away from your net, and it's a battle of attrition a lot of nights. Just keep grinding, keep pushing, and tell you one thing, it's a lot more fun in hockey to play with the puck than without it. When you're chasing it around, it gets exhausting. It's funny, you might not be skating quite as much as when you do have the puck, but the motivation is entirely different. When you have the puck, you're creating, you're not thinking about how tired you are. That's just human nature. From behind the goal, Verker. At least that's what I tell myself when I'm playing. And I have a little more energy at the offensive end. Goosens will shoot in. From neutral ice, Spikerman fields and makes the first man miss. That was Albers. Up the far wing it goes, untouched. Will this skid far enough for icing? It will not only waved off, and a turning chance for Hill. Stop once, second crack, never got through. A lot of bodies and legs in front of the net. Not really sure about that call because I felt like it got to the end line. It should have been icing if that were the case. This is icing against East, but you're not supposed to be able to win the race to the puck, and Hill did not get to that puck before it crossed the goal line. So it might have been a missed call, and, well, to Hill's credit, he kept on skating, and he got a good shot off. That guy can let the puck rip, as evidenced by 6 goals this year. He's got 21 in the last 2 years, does Sean Hall, and he scored against East before. I mentioned 2 goals in the season opener last year. It's a yearly matchup, at least once a season. Spikerman wanted to cut inside, but Albers, great back check to prevent that maneuver. Hill on his backhand, plays Owen in over the line. His pass for Ross off a skate. Oh boy, Albers was hit from behind. That one hurt That was, well, speaking of being hit from behind, it was Albers who did it in the first period. Albers, fortunately, is right up. Owen Lepp sent him for a ride, and that could be 5 the other way very easily. We'll see what the call is. First penalty of this second period. Owen Lepp, the senior forward, in the box with 7:40 left in the frame. And a long deliberation. Yes, 5 minutes, just as I thought might happen. It's so interesting because, like I said, it was Albers who was guilty of checking from behind in the first. This time, he's the one who's hit from behind, and just like in his situation, it's 5 minutes. Big opportunity to blow this game open for East. They can get some puck possession time going. You like their chances to pepper Mason DeYoung in the Forest Hills net. And here's Winkle shooting right away, right out in front of the net, and Brooks couldn't hook it in. Hall tied him up out to the line, and Ross went down to a knee, but he couldn't keep it alive in the attacking zone. Back into the East zone, Owen. Wanted to give it to Albers ahead of him, but the Pioneers restart. Ross, Halverson lost his stick, but he bends down to pick it up as East gets into the zone with possession. Owen chips it on back to Ross. Albers shooting high over the crossbar. You know, you don't have to ask Albers to shoot it. He'll do it anyway. Ross feeding Owen, another guy who likes to let it go, and he missed the net with that one, with Brooks providing the screen in front and chipped out by Hall and all the way down. So this power play will take the majority of the time remaining in this second period. There's 6:47 to go in the second. 4 minutes left on this major penalty to Owen Lepp. Another clearance by the Bird Dogs, though, and they love it at their bench. If they want to stay in touch in this game, they've got to get a huge effort on the PK. Ross driving in, and he shoots, and it's deflected high into the protective netting over the end zone glass. We'll face it off in Bird Dogs real estate in just a moment. So East has got Byron Center on the road on Saturday. That'll be quite the matchup. And then the schedule doesn't get any easier. Houghton and Bay Reps in the Grand Rapids Showcase, Patterson Showcase, coming up first weekend of December. First full weekend of December, I should say, as Sunday is December 1st. On the puck, Trevor Bird. The dish to Goosens. Bjornsson from the corner. Thought about a shot, but the puck drifted away from him. So the Pioneers regroup. Caden Goosens, the defenseman. Goosens to Rowan, back to Goosens, and Cooper Rowan, the sophomore, one more time. Over to Bird, assesses his options, pressured by a couple of Bird Dogs, and around the umbrella it comes for Goosens to shoot, off a body, knocked around high in the zone, and dodged with a good stick to knock it by his opposite number. But regathering Bird, couldn't get by Walkus with a poke check. Walkus defends, Bjornsson circles behind the goal. Bryce Bjornsson has got a goal in this game, the only goal of this second period. Played it to Goosens. Bjornsson on the overlap, shooting off the shoulder of DeYoung, and Jake Goosens was stripped from behind. He nearly had a chance, had his stick lifted, I think, just as that puck came to his blade. Change for East, 2:42 to go on the power play. Goosens, a lot of zone time, but not a lot of shots through on DeYoung. Winkle, Albers trying to change that. Down low, Brooks, back to Albers, one-timer saved by DeYoung, and it's loose and it's cleared by Hall. He wires it all the way down 200 feet. 5 to go in the second period. East has the only goal of this frame. Trying to add on this major power play opportunity. The Neers have scored on 4 of their last 9 power play chances, dating back to the win against Salem last Friday. Ringing it around is Owen. Albers waiting, but Winkle swoops in, takes it, fires it, glove save, rebound, score! Make it another one! Winkle's shot was stopped, but Nolan Brooks hammers it in on the backhand side, and it's 4-0, 4:42 remaining in the second. And I'm down to one last breath. The goals are going in fast and furious again for East. 4 more for them, and it's a goaltending change. DeYoung is out. No fault of his own. He's getting peppered now on this power play. Matthew Moses checks in. Got Brooks on the goal, his third of the year. Winkle with the helper. And the power play continues, by the way. It's a major penalty. Moses looking on as the shot ended up behind his net. Brooks from near the corner spins it out high away from Albers. He couldn't reach it. He's got to chase back for it. So that's 2 power play goals on the evening so far for East. Now 5 for their last 10. This begins their 11th chance in that stretch. Brooks cutting in off the pad of Moses. Good save. His first in relief. Change on the fly in process for East as Ross closes and rips it off the shin pad of Dodge, who got in the way out high. 1:06 left on the penalty to Lepp. It's allowed East to take a 4-0 lead. And Owen, a drag and a shot, but blocked at the point of attack. Bird retrieves. Owen, fan on the pass, looking for Ross. Oh my, an arm came up from DeHaan. He smashed Owen as the puck hopped high into the air. Recovered by Ross, offside against the Pioneers. I think Bjornsson was trying to get to the bench, but he didn't get both legs up, both skates up off the ice. You've got to do that in order to be considered off the ice surface and out of play. 2 more assists for Winkle in this game. 5 on the year. That ties him with Ross for the team lead. Under 3.5 to go in the second. The power play continues. Warden runs off Rowan with a strong shoulder check, but Bird's there to follow on. He gave it away to Halverson, and Justin Halverson couldn't get it out on the first try, but fortunately for him, Sean Hall was there to clean up the rest. Caden Goosens turns on the Jets, hopping into the attacking zone. He gets to his own dump in and falls onto his backside in the corner. Hey, can't fault the hustle, that's for sure. Walkus, under pressure, lost control of the puck. He was attacked by 2 Pioneers. Bjornsson from the side. Bjornsson out high. Still controlling. Down to the final 5 seconds of the power play. Charlie Finch taps his stick back in the net, and it'll be a penalty against Bjornsson as he turned it over and then high-sticked Hall in the neutral zone. So just after the power play ends, East will go short for the second time in this game, but this will just be the garden variety 2-minute penalty, at least I think, to Bjornsson for high sticking. So special teams all of a sudden a major part of this game. The 5-minute power play converted on by East. And with 2:37 left in the second, the PK unit will get some work. Looks like it's Ross with Albers. Hill and Porter Brooks are your defenders. And Albers comes out of the corner with the puck. Couldn't get it deep, though. Coughed it up to Dodge, but gloved out of the air by Albers. Here he comes. Swooping in, poke checked. Good play by Graham Verker, junior defenseman. Dodge looking to duck between defenders, but the puck drifted off his stick and right to Finch. And he'll make no bones about it. He just wants to stop the play. Not trying to do anything too crazy with that. And rifle it off into the corner or give it away. East out shooting Forest Hills, Northern and Eastern 19-8 at this juncture, according to the scoreboard clock. Whoa, skittering puck went right past Finch and just missed the right post by maybe a half foot or so. Weird play off the face-off win, technically, for East. Halverson sends it softly into the corner, but Goosen's first on it. His clearance got beyond Owen, and the wrist shot from the point by Spikerman rattles into the near side corner. Given by Gino. Tilly, and now Spikerman shot blocked, and the race is on back in the neutral zone. Owen trying to turn it up ice. Winkle waits for his teammate. Now he'll head in down the left wing. Scooted by Spikerman. Spikerman put an arm up and grabbed Winkle right around the chest. That's a penalty for holding, and that'll even things up with 1:34 left before the intermission. Skating. It's the coin of the realm in hockey. You got to be able to skate, and Bennett Winkle can move out there on those blades, and that's what allowed him to draw the penalty. So holding the call, we'll play 4-on-4 for the next 50 seconds roughly. Spikerman in for holding. Down it goes. So some open ice in the final minute and a half of the second period. You know Albers likes that. Here he comes, barreling into the attacking zone. Albers to the outside, and he's run into the ditch in the end. Halverson with some help from Liam Tilley. Halverson rips it across rink. Ross coughed it up to Warden. We're under a minute to go in the second. Goosens kicks it to his stick. Still 4-on-4 for the next 15 seconds. Goosens and Warden collide. East changing up. Winkle gets on the ice. 47 seconds to go in the period. Winkle shoots a wrister from 45 feet into the glove of Matthew Moses. Now in net for the Bird Dogs. He'll stop the music. 44.1 remaining. In 7 seconds, East will go back on the power play. By the way, because of that penalty for holding to Spikerman, East remains perfect on the penalty kill this year. Winkle drew it on back on his backhand. Hill thought about a pass across. Instead, he'll safely filter it down the wall. Now Hill thought about a pinch, and he'll step back. Bjornsson kicks it along before he heads off to the bench. And Bjornsson thought he had to get off the ice. No, he doesn't, because it's a 5-on-4 now. East back to full strength. 20 seconds to go in the period. Brooks driving wide on his backhand. Got in, and he shot it. Save Moses. And he pounces on the rebound right atop his crease. 17 seconds left. Two goals in the first, two here in the second for East. And still a chance with an offensive zone draw and the power play engaged again. Wiggles backhand as he went forward with that face-off win. Stopped by Moses. Now DeHaan knocked back onto his rear end as Ross controls. 7 seconds to go in the period. Winkle, Ross, deking, right in, off the mask of Moses, bounces free, and Owen couldn't get it cleanly on net. Moses covers up. 0.6 to go in the second period. So the Pioneers are going to have to shoot this off the draw if they want to score before the buzzer. Great move from Ross. That close to a beautiful tally. Instead, Owen will try to pump it on goal. It's blocked, and there is that buzzer. Two more for the Pioneers. One at even strength from Bjornsson. One on the power play from Nolan Brooks. And it's a 4-goal lead in this rink rivalry matchup on Thanksgiving Eve. Keep it right here on the East Hockey live stream on YouTube. All set for the third period. East trying to put the finishing touches on its fourth win of the year in as many games. I'm Matt Gajtka. This is the East Hockey live stream from the West Rink at Patterson. You can see the Davenport logo at center ice. That's what gives it away. First game of the year on this particular ice sheet. Actually, I'm not sure where that Lake Orion game was. I missed that game, so I don't know if that was on West or East. Regardless, this is a Forest Hills Northern and Eastern home game, technically. Here's a clear on Charlie Finch, the freshman goalie again. Stops it in front of his net. 10 seconds to go on this power play for East Grand Rapids. It's an abbreviated one. Just about 50 seconds worth after some 4-on-4 play, excuse me. And there's the one-up sound. It's becoming very common in the game of hockey from the old Mario Brothers game that indicates the Bird Dogs are back to full strength. We're back to 5-on-5, so East comes up empty on that short-ish power play. They're now 2 for 4 on the night, but another multi-power play goal outing for the Pioneers. Ross guns it on goal, lost control of his stick as it wobbled over the crossbar and over the head of, I believe that is Matthew Moses still. He took over for Mason DeYoung late in that second period after DeYoung gave up the fourth East goal. Goosens cracks it around the wood. Out it comes. 3-on-2 rush here. Brooks, he's got a goal in this game, shoots it, and again, high and wide for East. They're trying to go up under the bar against Moses. Definitely on the shorter side for a goalie, so I understand. But at the same time, don't want to get necessarily out of your game. Just want to shoot for the opening if you can. Keep it on instinct if possible. Bjornsson turns toward goal. Moses makes the save. And again, what do I know? I'm just up here talking. They're the ones down there playing. Cleared by the Bird Dogs. Whitaker Hill whiffed on the fresh ice. But Brooks helps out his buddy there and be dished right by the outstretched stick of Bjornsson. Your goal scorers tonight, 4 different ones. Owen, Ross, Bjornsson, and Nolan Brooks. Owen now with 5 goals, 2 off the team lead, held by James Albers. Albers has at least 1 assist. I was able to go back and watch the first goal, and Albers wasn't given an assist by the PA announcement, but he should have had the secondary helper on Owen's power play strike. Here's Martinez, first touch of the puck tonight for Forest Hills, and his shot's deflected by Caden Goosens off the rink. Christian Martinez, that is. Upcoming schedule for East Grand Rapids. They're going to go outside the conference for a while after the game against Byron Center on Saturday. We'll hold that thought as Sean Hall turns it toward goal, but he missed on the backhand, partially whiffed on it. Owen, lead pass to Brady Ross, trying to turn the corner against Tilly. Now he left it behind, did Ross. He's able to recover it, but lost control. On it again, Justin Halverson. He's been hounding the puck all night. To Hall, centering right past everybody in front, and it did come out over the line. Verker couldn't gather a bouncing biscuit, and that's an offside whistle. Anyway, after the game against Byron Center on the 30th on Saturday down at Southside, Houghton and Bay reps on the 6th and the 7th of December, respectively. Then a long trip up to the UP. They'll be at Marquette, will your Pioneers, on the 13th. That's a Friday. And then at Sault Ste. Marie, that's a Saturday. I will not be making that trip. You're on your own for that one. For those two, I should say. And your Pioneers finish the month of December and finish the calendar year at Rockford on the 20th and at Flint Powers on the 21st. Hoping to have that game against Rockford for you on the East Hockey live stream, which would give us 3 broadcasts for the month out of 6 games. It's pretty good. Hill back to play this. It's a 4-0 lead for East. They've had comfy leads in the third period in 3 of their 4 wins. Not last game, though. That one against Salem went down to the wire. Heavy hit on the far side, but pushed ahead. Winkle shoots as he falls, and he missed it to the left, and Porter Brooks, he had to basically crawl onto the bench there, and the Pioneers might be down another D-man. That was, like I said, a crunching hit right in front of the scorer's table by Nolan Gino, very physical player, and that was a clean hit. Nothing wrong with that. Well, if you're a Pioneers fan, what's wrong with it was that the player got banged up, and hoping for the best. That looked really similar, as this is icing against East. Really similar to the hit on Ethan Brinker by Salem's Nolan Kaminsky last week. Kaminsky actually took out Brinker and Stropke in the same game. The Brinker hit was 5 minutes, a major penalty for interference. The Stropke hit deemed legal, or at least undetected by the referees in that game. Kaminsky was on that line all night, put it that way. Spikerman shoots and missed it to the right. Finch looks back with a wary eye behind his goal. The battle is on. As the Bird Dogs try to break the shutout bid here. Goosens pops it around and out past Brooks, who dropped his stick, but no icing. It'll settle in the face-off circle. Cleared across and given away by Halverson, who throws his head back in frustration. Albers shooting, and off the body of Moses. Bounces in behind the goal. Retrieved by the Pioneers. Goosens off to the far side for Cooper Rowan. Again, it was Porter Brooks who was hit and looked to be in some serious pain on the bench. Now he's behind the bench, standing up, getting some water, so that's a good sign as far as I could tell. Albers couldn't poke it by the long reach of Walkus. Halverson, good skating to pivot backward and snap it up the middle. Off the glove of Winkle. He'll track it down himself, preventing the hand pass call. Winkle clipped it center, shoulder to shoulder by DeHaan. And Halverson pokes it by Winkle into the east zone. Bjornsson saucers it across. Good pass. Barnes stopping, but left the puck behind. He was stripped by Gino, who whips it around. Dodge couldn't stop it. Driven in deep with 11:15 to go in the third period by Whitaker Hill. Ryan Warden waits for that puck, takes a bump, moves it toward the middle, and the Bird Dogs are away with Dodge down the left wing. Tried to shoot, stick broke on him. There goes a couple $100 as Winkle will relay it on. Bjornsson, 2-on-2 scrum right in front of the scorer's table again. Owen with some open ice. Shooting from beyond the blue line right into the breadbasket of Graham Verker. Gets credit for a shot block on that. Warden jams it ahead, and watch out. The goaltender Finch tripped over the stick back there. That's the broken stick, I think, from one of the Bird Dogs earlier. Meanwhile, the play continues down to our left, so Finch avoids disaster behind his net. Well, maybe disaster is a harsh word in a 4-0 game, but you don't want to give up a goal that way, that's for sure. Goosen's wrist shot was partially blocked. Martinez rambling in, shooting off the pad of Finch. Big rebound again for Baum, and he's stopped by Finch on the chance. Loose in the crease, and Finch covers it up on the follow-up from Baum. No further play, 10:02 to go in the third. In case you're wondering, when do the Pioneers play Forest Hill Central, the other team that calls this rink home? They've got a couple against the Rangers on the 17th and 18th of January. That's in a stretch of exclusively conference play in January. We'll see Grand Rapids Christian here, West Ottawa coming in. The Pioneers will play at Caledonia down at the East Kentwood rink. Halverson blind centering pass, nearly a good one, but Hall can only reach to poke it to the corner. Hill back against the grain. So the East defense core has held up pretty darn well in this game. They've given up just 11 shots on goal, despite missing Stropke and Brinker due to injury. And like I said, they'll be out looking like through the duration of December. Don't want to put too fine a point on it, but they'll miss at least a few weeks. DeHaan carried it in, but the Bird Dogs were offside. Also in January, a trip to Walker Ice and Fitness. when the Pioneers play Kennewa Hills. Actually, I misspoke. It looks like the Pioneers will play the Bird Dogs again on the 24th of January. So they do have the 2 games against the 2 teams in this rink. So that at least makes sense. Limit travel, but you do get some extra contests. I'm not sure if those will actually count, though, in the standings, since you're only supposed to play one time against conference rivals. Barnes with a shot down the left wing, and it's gloved down by Moses with 9:13 remaining. So that's interesting. I'll have to ask the coaching staff about that one. Because the OK Conference has pared it down from 3 divisions to 2, and it's essentially an East division and a West division. This is the first OK Roo Division game of the year for East. Good skating here by Nolan Gino. He's a swift athlete as he put it toward the middle. Dodge trying to collect it. It's in his skates, and the Pioneers are on it. Rowan with a good stick, pokes it away and clears out to neutral ice. No goals in this third, no penalties in this third. Goosens takes a bump from Dodge, out to the blue. Warden held it. Gino turned it. Behind the goal, Dodge. Oh, he's not going to get there ahead of Caden Goosens. Barnes, good pass. Clicked it onto the stick of Bjornsson, who ran right over Ryers on the near side. Easton Ryers gets some action, and looks like he's no worse for the wear. The shot from the blue line by Porter Brooks. Good to see him back out there. I was keeping an eye out for 22. He ripped it into the corner. High in the zone, Runyon poked it right by the lurking Gino onto the near side half wall. Warden couldn't get by the defending of Hill. And Jake Goosens. Soft dump in. Goosens after it, gets to it. It's got Bird in front. Goosens will turn behind the goal and emerge out the near corner. Trying to no-look backhand shot was J.P. Levin. Or no, excuse me, that's Runyon. 9, not 8 on the ice for East. Bird bouncing puck, side of the goal. Bird centering. Jake Goosens, a point-blank chance. Moses makes the save, and it's under his pad somewhere. 7.5 remaining in the third. Nice shift from the depth forwards there. Bird, Goosens, and Runyon. Goosens already has a goal this year, scored it against Lake Orion. Runyon and Bird, though, still in search of their first varsity points. Rowan chips it ahead. Albers just have him down for the 1 assist. Might end up with 2, though, on that Brooks goal. Have to look back at that replay. Reason I say that is Albers has at least 2 points in every game this year coming in. An impressive start. Penalty coming up. Sean Hall apparently is the guilty party. Delayed call. Finch to the bench for East. And Owen bumped hard in the corner. And the Bird Dogs take possession courtesy of Graham Verker. That halts play. 6:50 left in regulation time. And it'll be power play number 5 for the Pioneers. They connected on their first 2 of the night. Nothing since. They scored on Spikerman's tripping penalty in the first, and Owen Leps checking for behind call in the second, and they get another one here. Bennett Winkle lets it fly after the face-off win. 2 seconds into the power play. Winkle with his 3rd point of the night. Another PPG for EGR. 6:48 to go. 5-0. And the Pioneers add on. Winkle beats Moses. A quick passing play. Winkle's second. Actually, unassisted, excuse me, as Winkle off the faceoff did it all himself. I looked up just in time to see the puck whistle into the goal. So I'll have to look at that replay. Watch out, one of the linesmen got run into the partition at the end of the East bench. A couple of players collided. That was Spikerman for Forest Hills, and I couldn't tell who it was for East. Now he's sending Lucian Bruck and J.P. Levin over the boards, and also Trip Hoekstra. I believe this is their first shift of the game with 6:03 left in the third, and turning clock as this is angled ahead. Off of an East skate, no icing. Play continues behind the goal, thrown out in front, good save. On the chance for Martinez. Again, Finch comes up with the goods, and here's Bird driving, and he's tripped hard coming into the net. And he ends up running into Moses inadvertently. Hope Moses is okay, but Trevor Bird draws the tripping penalty, and East goes back to the advantage. The East depth is heard from. And Michael Dodge to the box for the first time tonight. Well, I promise I'll keep my head up this time. Just didn't realize that a goal 2 seconds into a power play was even possible, but Bennett Winkle pulled it off last time. I can't wait to watch later tonight. Winkle poking it toward the goal. This time it doesn't work out. Winkle slides it high. Owen, Ross, Albers firing off the outside of the goal frame. He had some room, I think, short side. Would have taken a perfect shot, though. Around and not out. Pushed back to the near side by Owen. And Owen gathers in the loose puck. Ross settles. Owen, he scored from there in the first period. Shooting, deflected rebound. Score again and again. It's Bennett Winkle from the doorstep. Little friendly bounce. Nothing wrong with that. And it's a six-pack on Thanksgiving Eve for the Pioneers. Back-to-back goals for Winkle. A 4-point night, at least by my count, for 17 in blue. 3 goals on the year for him. Back-to-back power play strikes. And give Owen an assist. I believe Ross will pick up another helper too. 4 power play goals on 6 chances for East Grand Rapids. That's a pretty tidy evening for the unit, wouldn't you say? Nothing Moses could do. That puck bounced right to Winkle. Two goals in each of the 3 periods tonight. Looked like it was going to be a pretty quiet third, but that's changed in a hurry, hasn't it? Barnes getting a look here, out there with Bird again. Barnes shooting. Thought he might go back to Bird on the give and go, but Moses made the stick save. Bird turning high in the zone. Dumps it around. East continues to fill the net. That's now 25 goals for, just 5 against in their first 4 games. A sizzling start for Chris Newton's squad. JT Meny, watch out, he gets cleaned out behind the net by Grady Walkus. Lepp shoots it around the yellow kick plate. Lucian Bruck pulls it off the boards. Good little pass there to Levin. He'll go in after his own dump in. Didn't see a lot of options coming in over the blue line, so Tilley sends it this direction. Owen Lepp given away and intercepted by Whitaker Hill. Porter Brooks plays it on ahead. 3:44 to go in the third. 2 power play goals in this third period. Warden shoots into the breadbasket of Finch, and he gobbles it up. In the student section, speaking of gobbling it up, well, they'll be doing some eating tomorrow, but they're also enjoying, they're consuming another runaway win for their Pioneers as Dodge will poke it toward goal. Cleared away momentarily by Brooks. Warden hands off, far side, open, shooting was Gino, and he missed the goal, and he might have gotten slashed on the hand. He was shaking that left hand, his bottom hand in pain after he ripped it wide of the goal. Slater fires, save from distance. Finch has it again, and again, no rebound. 3:16 remaining. The Forest Hills Northern and Eastern, they got blanked 8-0 by St. Clair Shores Unified over the weekend. This could be back-to-back shutout losses for the Bird Dogs. They're going to fall to 1-4 regardless of whether they get a goal or two here late. It's a team that won its region last year and does return a good amount of players from that squad. Martinez shooting from the angle, off the pad of Finch to the far wall. Just got to watch out now. Players are flying around, and we have a tripping penalty. I think one of the Pioneers went down. Oliver Walkus was in possession of the puck when the whistle sounded, so I think it's against him as he is incredulous. Shakes his head as he's sent off to the penalty box with 2:49 left in the third. Another tripping call. At least the third by my count that the Bird Dogs have been guilty of in this game. And East is going to send out a unit of Bird, Bjornsson, the two Goosenses, and Rowan. What's the plural of Goosens? Look that one up. Paging the Oxford English Dictionary. Whistle on an offside. Kneeing, excuse me, not tripping, it's kneeing. Just a 2-minute kneeing penalty. Yeah, that was one of those where you can get hurt on that. It's just inadvertent, but it is a penalty. Nothing mean-spirited about it, but two players cruising by at high speeds. Doesn't take much to send one of them flying. Bjornsson cruising through the middle. Bjornsson with a goal in this game, shot off the crossbar, and it bounces down and out of the net and cleared by the Bird Dogs. Bjornsson scored the only even strength goal of the night for East Grand Rapids early in the second to make it 3-0. 4 power play goals and a shorty this evening. 1:24 to go on the kneeing penalty to the co-captain Ollie Walkus. Caden Goosen sends over to Bjornsson. Gathers, dekes, shoots, and it was partially blocked into the near corner. Coming up on 9 p.m. on the night before Thanksgiving, Bjornsson centering off a stick. Cooper Rowan guides it. Bird cradles, feeds. Hill, one touch to Bjornsson. 2nd minute of the power play underway. Hill thought about a pass, but no one was there at the left point, so he has to track it down himself. Sending in Bird behind the goal. Bjornsson couldn't stop it, but Hill is there. Rowan wants to let it go and will, and it blocked and cleared by Lepp. Bird with 1:23 to go in this game. Goosens, that's Jake Goosens, the forward, lost control. Finch puts the big paddle on it behind his net. He's 67 seconds away from a significant milestone at this level. I shan't talk about it again until the end of this game. Bruck toward the middle. And Spikerman, serpentine through the neutral zone. Penalty about to expire. Strong check from Lucian Bruck. Nope. Going to be a penalty. Penalty against Bruck. He's called for the trip with 49 seconds remaining. And so the suspense remains regarding a certain something for a certain goaltender. Power play for the Bird Dogs in the final minute. Well, Bruck just trying to be physical and not getting too much of the leg and not enough of the body. So East's perfect power play, or excuse me, penalty kill gets put to the test one more time. Won't be a full power play, but 49 seconds. Here we go. Levin strokes it to the corner. Brooks around, but not out. Spikerman, good pass to Baum in the high slot. Baum makes a little move. Trip Hoekstra got a stick in there. Spikerman shooting, deflected. 2 Bird Dogs in the slot, backhanded beyond the reach of Tilly. On down it goes. Half minute left. Spikerman passed it right into the path of Levin. He'll deal it on back to his defenseman Brooks on that near side. Maybe one last clear. 14 seconds remaining. Levin spun around, and here's another drive down by Porter Brooks. That might do it as far as the clean sheet is concerned. Pinned to the wall by Baum. The Pioneers pour off the bench. Pioneers win. Pioneers win it 6-0 over Forest Hills Northern and Eastern tonight. The first varsity shutout for freshman Charles Finch. He gets the job done, making 13 saves and really a staunch defensive effort. The power play strikes 4 times, a shorthanded goal. So special teams loom large as well for Chris Newton's squad. They're 4-0 as they get ready for a big showdown with the defending state champion Byron Center Bulldogs down at Southside Ice Arena coming up on Saturday. But for tonight, the Pioneers can enjoy a big victory. 4 points for Bennett Winkle. He's your scoring star. 2 in the third period. 2 goals in the third period. 2 assists earlier in the game. Owen, Ross, Nolan Brooks, and Bryce Bjornson, your other goal scorers. 2 in each of the 3 periods for East Grand Rapids. And that wraps things up. And we'll say good night from Patterson Ice Center. Hello. Guess I'll pull up a chair. Great to be with you again. As like I said, no game on Friday, but Saturday we'll be keeping our eye on that one from Byron Center. No broadcast for that, unfortunately. So the next time I'll talk to you will be on December the 6th. Friday game. It is Houghton, the Gremlins, making a rare trip down to Patterson. So that's what's coming up for East, and we'll find out if they're still undefeated at that point. But either way, what a start for the Pioneers. They win 6-0 tonight. They've outscored their opponents on the year 25-5. And again, looking like a strong contender, not just in West Michigan, but across the entire Great Lakes state. One more time from the southeast quadrant of Grand Rapids, Michigan. I'm Matt Gajtka saying good night, God bless, have a great Thanksgiving, and I'll talk to you in December.